So recently we bought a ton of IT equipment for 150 bucks, and in this video we're gonna try to build a gaming PC out of it. We definitely got some main boards here. Also got some power units, some fans, a couple of graphic cards over here. Those look ancient, like I have no idea from what PCs they come from. We also got a couple of PC cases over here. This one looks quite neat. So these are the main boards that we're working with. This one already got a ton of RAM on it, and this one is actually a DDR4 main board. The other ones are DDR3. This one seems to be the best. So if we find some DDR4 RAM, we might be able to run our gaming PC on this one. These are the graphics card. Now I have like no idea what some of those actually are. Like this one seems like it comes out of the museum. This one might be worth a shout, or this one. So this one's by far the best one. Then the next contender would be this one, but by a mile. And then the other ones are pretty damn useless. Maybe we can build the least efficient Bitcoin miner out of it, but I have like no idea if we can actually refurbish or use any of them in anything. So we got a lot of RAM here. Now sadly all of them are DDR4 RAMs, so not really useful for our best mainboard. And the other mainboards already got enough RAM on it, like this one seems to be like 64 gigabytes of RAM on this. So these are the chips that we can use for our project, and this one is definitely the best. So there's no worth looking at the other ones. So we might gonna test this mainboard first, because it's already pre-assembled with the RAM. Now let's find out what hides underneath here. If I am able to actually open this thing up. How does that work?
Ich würde jetzt nicht kaputt machen, dann sind wir gekriegt.
Finally. So we might need to clean that cooling paste off and do some further investigation. So there's one last chip that we haven't checked yet, and it's installed on this mainboard. So we dismantled the cooling unit of it. We figured out that this chip is actually quite bigger than all of the other ones that we got, so maybe we have to switch to this mainboard so we can use some of these more powerful chips, unless we can figure out what this one actually seems to be. Since no one of us actually ever cleaned the chip, we just looked up some conventional ways on the internet and tried them out. So this one says Intel Core i5. So this one says Intel Core i7, so this is definitely the best chip that we got. So let's put it back in here. Flashlight kann man machen. Ich probiere das mal kurz. So as you can read by the subtitles, my friend filmed this sequence by himself, and as professional as he is, he obviously put the bottle right in front of the action. And the only thing that I can do now is to entertain you just with my voice. So, since we don't have any screws, we actually just gonna do some 5-minute craft workmanship. I hope it's done. Faces the right direction. But I think it looks decent. Put it in that way. Well, we can't access the screws right now. Well, I guess then we do some more 5 minutes crafting. And screw that on first and then try to glue that thing on after we've done it. Now that's some professional work. Muss das so tönen?
Ich hoffe einfach, es war nicht die CPU gewesen.
Okay, so we ran into a problem. The screws are not working for this main board, they're too small. And our plan B, using those screws from the bottom, doesn't work because the holes aren't big enough. So the only reasonable thing to do now because we don't speak English. Now back to step 3.
Oh! Woher was jetzt? Das ja letzte Woche kommt.
Now that's some 5-minute craftsmanship, and this connects to the ram isn't straight, but I think that's good enough, and that needs to be like that. That's totally normal that the screws come out on the other side. If your mainboard looks different, you might want to adjust that. So now it's time for the power unit. Goes here.
Nice.
And it fits perfectly. I lied. The mainboard is actually way too big, and all the outputs are in this little black box. And this is actually the bottom side of the case, and on the back side, which has openings for ports, we don't have any ports at all. Okay, now it's just cable management and plugging stuff in wherever it fits, even though we have no idea what it actually does, but that's not our problem. Easy as that. So this is where the port's meant to come out. We had to improvise. And luckily enough, we also got a 4K monitor with this whole package. Okay, let's try this. She lives! Bro. Now I think those red lights are... Oh! Please power down, connect the PCI power up cable for this graphics card. Like we literally did that. Or is this... Okay, it turned out that we forgot to plug this in the power unit. Okay. So at this point we only had to install Windows, and also we replaced the hard drive with an SSD which we stole from one of our other PCs that we got in this bundle for 150 bucks. And the last thing that we had to do was to install Steam and some games and then check them out. The first game that we tested was Battlefield 5. Now honestly, this game runs surprisingly smooth. We got around 60 FPS, and this is also due to the monitor that we got, because it only allows 60 FPS. And the only reason why I didn't cut the video here already is because of the very legendary soundtrack of Battlefield 5, which we really enjoy. So the next game that we tried was War Thunder, and we're not sponsored by them. Actually, one of us does really enjoy the game. As you can see, he's more or less a pro gamer, and he's gonna do now what is called a pro gamer move. The last game that we wanted to try was Valorant. And this happened. So we don't really can play any games that require some security chip or whatever this thing is called. The same thing happened with Warzone, which is sad because we both wanted to try especially that game. But that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.